if you need help at home, whether you need a plumber or somebody to come and clean your house, where do you go? Well, Thumbtack has the answer for you, and we're going to hear more about it right now. Who are you?
I'm Marco Zappacosta. I'm one of the co-founders and CEO of Thumbtack. We're an online marketplace for local services, and we've been building this thing for 2.5 years.
So tell me a little bit about this space, because there's all sorts of companies. I remember seeing Red Beacon winning the TechCrunch Award.
Yep.
And there's Craigslist and all that. What's happening here, and why do we need another company to find people who help us at home?
Yeah, so what's happening is that these services are more and more being found and booked online. So if you think about it, these are things people have always needed. Cleaners, babysitters, handymen, plumbers. But now more and more people think to go online to find them. And so what you're seeing is a lot of companies try and take advantage of that trend and sort of be the Amazon or the eBay for services. It's our belief that there will be one. And so that's what we're fighting for, and that's what all these other guys are fighting for.
How do you differentiate then from all those other guys?
So we are, I think, see ourselves much more as a marketplace than many of these other players. And that means that we help merchants have a storefront, a presence online, and help consumers vet them and book them right then and there. A lot of these players are actually sort of channels for these merchants. So one other place where they might be able to sort of get another client. But we really see ourselves as their home online.
Yeah, it seems like the challenge for you guys is quite different than a lot of other startups, which are just trying to seem cool or get users in the Apple iOS store, right?
Yeah.
It seems like you're in a customer acquisition battle.
Absolutely. I think who wins is a person who can acquire sort of both the merchant and the consumer most effectively. To date, we have 140,000 active merchants. We had about 5,000 a week now. So wow. I think we're doing pretty well on that front. That's probably sort of what we're best at now. And we took a little bit of a different approach. You'll see a lot of these people went and started with a directory. They went to Localese, InfoUSA, bought one of these local directories, and then tried to get people to claim it and sort of engage with it. Yelp did this. And we said, you know what, that kind of creates a bad relationship. We want to get them to commit to us to sort of invest in their profile and their home, really, from the get-go. And so that was slower, unfortunately, but now we believe sort of it's building more momentum because we have better content, we have better data, and we have a relationship with each and every merchant on the site.
A lot of these, like the people who clean my house, they're not all that computer savvy,
yep.
right? They don't carry around
yep.
iPhones, and they're not on the iPads. They look at my iPad and go, oh, that looks sort of interesting, but
yeah.
it's not for me.
Yeah.
How do you get people like that to actually engage with you?
Yeah, so we're fortunate, and I think one of the reasons why you see so many companies doing this now is that merchants, by and large, have come to understand the internet is a channel they need to be on. It's not seen as sort of a question mark anymore. They know that's where people are looking. They know that's where they have to be. Now then, how do you do that effectively for them? And that's why we have to work really hard to make it easy to use, to make it obvious, and really we want to abstract away sort of online marketing. There's no reason why these merchants who are so busy and so hardworking should spend their time sort of worrying about SEO or SEM, social media buys. We want to abstract all that away, give them a home online, and then deliver them new clients when they need them.
Do you offer support like a phone line?
So currently no
like
phone support, but email support, and we've built out a team of 130 in the Philippines to provide them with the sort of support that they need. On one hand, it's tough dealing with 4,000 inbound support tickets a week, but it's great, right? These guys care enough to write us, to ask for help. And so I think it's encouraging.
What would a user see on the homepage, and how would they walk me through the site a little bit?
So actually, unlike a lot of websites, the homepage isn't really a point of entrance for us because all of our traffic is organic. And so they're usually coming to a profile page or a landing page specific for that category and location. So
Joe's cleaning shop
yep.
would have a page?
Yep, or Half Moon Bay Plumbers, and they would see all the plumbers servicing Half Moon Bay. Mm-hmm. And so we need to sort of be a sort of high quality, almost listings at that point, but then sort of our challenge is showing these consumers that we're not just a directory. It's not just a place where you can find information. You can actually learn about that human being, they're sort of vetted and reputation, and you can book them. Sort of interact with them, get bids, get quotes. We don't do the transactional part yet, but that's coming. And we really want to be sort of that end-to-end solution for consumers.
So if I'm a plumber and I want to have a page here, what can I put up there?
So you can put up business data, name, address, phone number, description. We have a set of questions that you can answer, sort of what separates you. Then we'll ask things about how to verify you as a human being. So you can run a criminal background check on you. We make sure that people aren't sex offenders, that they're not in the Department of Justice's registry.
So you have babysitters?
We do have babysitters, absolutely. And that's something that parents, it's a very high trust sort of dependent hire, right? This is your kid. We verify their social media connections so they can connect Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. And if they have an occupational license like a plumber might, we can go in and verify that. Sort of try and, for the consumer, highlight that this person is who they say that they are and that they're a trustworthy person.
Interesting. Tell me about some of the genres of things that are offered on the site and what's hot.
Yeah, so I think one of the things that surprised me is just sort of how long the tail is for services. We knew that we'd get plumbers, we knew we'd get handyman, and sort of home improvement and home repair is probably the sort of top of the tail or the curve. But then, we have things like, glamour horse photography. If you want to
really?
Yeah, absolutely. We have people who will help you trash your wedding dress and take pictures of it. We have people who will create a custom fireworks show with the ashes of a deceased loved one. And, that's not for everyone. It's probably not for me, but it just highlights, wow. This world of services is gigantic. And what we often talk about is, do you know what eBay's first item sold was?
Well, they claimed it was a Pez dispenser.
That's the marketing story. It was a broken laser pointer.
Really?
Yeah. And so that speaks to sort of like, creating an efficient marketplace unlocks people buying and selling things that, previously nobody would have bought and sold. And we're seeing that same thing happen in the service sector. People finding sheep shears or, really all over the place. We've been blown away at sort of how broad and deep this market is.
Interesting. And you guys have people who do home electronics and stuff like that?
Absolutely. AV install, repair, all that. Computer repair, definitely.
What's the most used category?
The most used is probably cleaning and handyman. Yeah. So, those are the things that people need day in and day out. What we've been surprised at that there's a lot of health and beauty stuff as well. So women looking for salons, and particularly because the directories usually only have business level data, but we have individual level data. And if you're going to get your hair cut or some type of something done, it's really one human being providing that service, not some salon. And so we are finding that people actually prefer our data. And so, we'll see. Can
I comment underneath a specific person and say this person gave me a great haircut?
Absolutely. Testimonials and reviews. And so something that we're trying to do is, a lot of reviews online are hard to authenticate. Is it the barback's brother that's leaving all this reviews? Or is it a true client of that bar? And so what we do is we separate it out. We have testimonials, which the merchant can solicit, usually from past clients. They're all sort of glowing, like a blurb on the back of a book. But then because we have a transactional pathway, we can actually give sort of real reviews, right, by people who we know have sort of come from elsewhere, interacted with that merchant, and gone on to book them. Like all systems, it's gameable, but we've raised the bar, and we think sort of we're creating sort of a richer data set for these reviews.
Very cool. Tell me what you're thinking about transaction. Are you thinking of a partnership with Square or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, we would like to avoid having to do all the work that Square and WePay and these guys have had to do to set up their merchant banking licenses and all that, money transfer stuff. It's a huge overhead. And so we would love to sort of be the interface between them and the merchant. So provide sort of the how and sort of the platform through which they use online electronic payments. And we'll see who exactly we use, but hopefully we don't have to build everything ourselves.
Are you thinking about mobile? Because for that plumber, I imagine he's always always on call and having the site on an iPhone or an Android.
Yeah, absolutely. So people often ask us about mobile, thinking about the consumer, but really, if you're a consumer, you're often at home. This isn't something that just happens. You're like, oh, I need a plumber for this job. But for the plumber, he's always on the job. And so we need to be able to deliver all of our sort of marketing solutions and sort of transactional support services onto his phone. We don't have that yet, but that's definitely something that we will invest in.
Are you building a calendar for these
Yes.
people as well?
So the way we see it is that we started with two things: a digital storefront, a way for them to verify their reputation, and then a channel to drive them new business. As that matures, what we're going to do is add more and more services that are sort of more back office-y in nature: invoicing, appointment management, payments, email marketing, CRM, and we really want to be their home online. So where they find their new clients and where they manage existing clients.
Interesting. Tell me a little bit about the business fundamentals. How are you funded?
So we've raised friends and family round in June of 2009, and then we raised an angel round in June of last year. And at a certain point, we'll probably raise an institutional round, though that is not something that we have sort of really started yet.
Yeah. I have a feeling that the winner in this space is going to need a lot of capital for advertising. I'm already seeing Angie's List ads on TV.
Yep.
Is that what you're thinking, that to acquire customers and become one of those world brands, you're going to need a lot of capital?
No question. I mean, what it comes down to is just the size of the market that we're going after. It's not just about raising money to raise for just to do it. It's that it's just so big that the opportunity justifies it. And so what we're still focused on is identifying sort of the most cost-effective way to onboard sort of millions of merchants and sort of also find millions of customers for them. And once we feel like we've really got that nailed down, we'd love to go to Sand Hill and have them sort of cut us a big check.
Very cool. Any last things I need to know about what you guys are doing?
No, just that we're doing well.
Okay. And where do I learn more about you?
Thumbtack.com. The best place to learn about us.
And are you on Facebook and Twitter as well?
We are on Facebook and Twitter. Thumbtack for both of those. And I think we even have a Wikipedia page these days.
Wow. That's a new one. Or an old one. And are you personally on Twitter as well?
I am, yeah. MLZ.
Very cool. Thank you so much for coming out and showing me how to get my big screen installed.
Yeah, we've got that. Absolutely. Thank you.